Some of you know that I'm a chess aficionado. I love to play the game. I play almost every day. These days you can play against the computer. Now you're playing against a live person somewhere else in the world who has a rating that's comparable to yours. So it's really fun to be able to do this. In any event, there's a kind of a mini controversy in the chess world having to do with the acceptance of trans athletes. Now, of course, what makes chess kind of interesting is it's a mental game. It's not a physical game. And yet, in chess, there is a kind of an open division, or kind of a men's division, to be honest. And then there is a women's division. And so there's, for example, a world chess champion. And that guy is currently this guy, Ding Liren from China. And then there's a women's world chess champion. And I think the reason for this is because, men are a lot better players in chess than women. Now, is this biological? Is this psychological? Is this somehow cultural? Men are encouraged from a young age to play chess. I don't want to get into all that now, but the fact is that there is a big difference. In fact, if you take, let's just say, the best 5 women players in the world, they would, certainly not all of them, would not even be in the top 100 of the best chess players. And the top woman is probably going to fall somewhere around number 60 or number 70, with the other women dropping below 100. And so basically the chess world goes, listen, we kind of want to encourage women to play chess, and they're never going to win anything, so we need to have a separate division. Sort of kind of the same reasons that we have separate women's tennis and separate women's running and separate women's weightlifting and separate women's MMA. It's because it is acknowledged that there is a big difference between the two sexes. Now, apparently, with all this trans stuff going on, the World Chess Association, called FIDE, F-I-D-E, the FIDE group has issued a statement basically saying, no trans athletes in chess. This really makes me laugh because, as I say, it would seem not to matter in a mental game, but it does matter. And I guess their point is, since we have men's and women's chess, we're either going to have that or not. And if we have it, women's chess has got to be limited to women. So here we go. They go, and I love their wording too, which is kind of, I wouldn't say clumsy, it's sort of like old school, and it shows that they're trying to stay on top of all this, but they're actually speaking the plain truth. They're a little bit like Oliver Anthony in his song, Rich Men North of Richmond. They're just telling it like it is. So they go, in the event that the gender was changed from a male to a female, the player has no right to participate in official FIDE events for women until further FIDE decision is made. And they say that'll go to come over the next 2 years. So until then, no biological males. Because think about it, you could have some guy who's like number, 39 in the world in chess, and he decides, listen, I'm going to start wearing lipstick, put on a dress, show up in the women's division, clobber all the women, and become the women's world chess champion. So FIDE goes, no, that's not happening. In fact, they go on to say, if a player holds any women's titles, but they change their gender to a man, the women's titles are immediately abolished. Then they go, and I love this line, those can be renewed if the person changes the gender back to a woman. So if you're a woman, you're, let's say, the world's junior champion, and then you decide, I'm gonna change my equipment, I'm gonna take all these treatments, I'm gonna become a man. Sorry, you're gonna lose that title, but you can get it back if you decide, okay, doctor, let's lop it off. I'm gonna go back to being a woman. Okay, you can have your title. You can have your title back. They also go on to say that any live changing gender does not exempt a player from the penalty of punishments and restrictions previously applied to this player. So in other words, if you've been caught cheating, you've been banned from playing, let's say, in Las Vegas, or you're no longer allowed to play chess in the United States, but you decide, hey, listen, I'm a new gender. I'm a new person. I'm now allowed to play. They go, no, the punishments that applied to you before transfer to your new gender identity. What they're basically saying is, we're going to put up with your rhetorical BS, but we're not really going to change the rules of the game. So here is chess, and I'm sure they're going to get some heat for this, but I think they should endure it. In fact, they are the voice of common sense, and it's the transgender people, the transgender activists, those are the real loony ones. If aches and pains are your problem, Relief Factor is your remedy. Debbie and I started taking Relief Factor a couple of years ago. The difference we've seen in our joints, nothing short of amazing. Aches and pains are totally gone thanks to this 100% drug-free solution called Relief Factor. Relief Factor supports your body's fight against inflammation. That's the source of aches and pains. A whole bunch of people who try Relief Factor become regular customers. They order more because it works for them. Debbie's been able to do exercises now that for a long time she wasn't able to do, so Relief Factor has been a huge game changer for her, her aunt, other members of our family, Mike here in the studio, and for many other people. You too can benefit. Try it for yourself. Order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. The number again, 800-4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. Feel the difference.